Whispers in the deliberation room. 12 strangers, one courtroom, a case that was supposed to be open and shut. But what happened after the trial was never recorded in any official transcript. This is the story of the jury that heard whispers no one else could hear, of a verdict that chose them. The trial had ended. The judge's voice echoed in their minds. Members of the jury, the fate of the accused is now in your hands. They were escorted into the deliberation room, a small windowless chamber with a long wooden table and aging fluorescent lights that flickered now and then. Juror number 4, Linda, immediately felt the heaviness in the air. She couldn't explain it, but the room felt occupied, not by her 11 companions, by something else. Hours passed. Voices argued about evidence, about motive, about justice, and then silence. And in that silence, Linda heard it, a whisper, close, cold, right behind her left ear. But when she turned around, no one had moved. She said nothing. Maybe it was her imagination. But then juror number 7, Michael, jolted upright. "Did anyone hear that?" he asked, his voice shaking. They all stared at him. He looked pale. It said, "Wrong." Just one word. Linda's heart dropped. She had heard the same word. That night, they all stayed in a nearby hotel. The court would resume the next morning if they couldn't decide, but none of them slept. 3 jurors woke up with the same dream. A man in chains whispering through bloodied teeth, "Don't let them free me." By morning, juror number 12 was gone, vanished. His clothes and suitcase remained. No one had seen him leave the hotel. They resumed deliberations in silence. The chair he sat in was cold to the touch, even though the heater buzzed loudly. As they debated, the room seemed to grow smaller. The light above the table flickered rapidly now. One juror tried to open the door to leave. It was locked. No one had locked it. They all checked their phones. No signal. The clock on the wall had stopped ticking, and the whispers began again. Different voices this time, old, tired, angry. They whispered names, names of people they had never met. One of them whispered Linda's name. She screamed. On the 3rd day, the door suddenly unlocked. No sound, no warning. They all looked at each other, exhausted, afraid, broken. Linda stood up, trembling. "Let's just deliver the verdict," she whispered. They walked back into the courtroom, but as they stood to deliver their decision, the judge stared at them, puzzled. "Where is the rest of your jury?" he asked. Only 3 of them remained. 9 were missing. Linda looked behind her. 9 empty chairs. The bailiff rushed into the jury room. It was empty. No sign of struggle, no blood. Just weeks later, Linda would try to explain. The CCTV footage from inside the deliberation room showed 12 jurors entering, but only 3 left. No one ever saw the others again. No bodies, no explanation. But every year, on the anniversary of the trial, courthouse staff report hearing faint whispers from the locked deliberation room. 12 voices, arguing, crying, begging. But the room has been sealed since that day. In the end, the jury reached a verdict. But maybe the verdict reached them first. This was Elevator Tales. And this was Whispers in the Deliberation Room.